really talented guy. I think he has the capability to do a variety of things. You know, he's a big physical guy, about 230 pounds or so. Um, he can run the football. He has enough with his legs. He does a really nice job. It's sometimes almost reminiscent of Andrew Luck and I took credit to David Shaw and their staff of coaching. He really attacks the line of scrimmage when they drop back to pass, and when it's not there, he runs and gets an 8, 10, 12, 15-yard gains with his legs. He obviously has the capability to throw the ball down the field when people are stepping up on the run game to take their shots. He's accurate down the field, and I think he has just good command of what they're doing, you know. And he's a guy, I mean, he's undefeated as a starter. What can you say?
How has Bishop held up these last 2 practices?
Oh, it's great. You know, I haven't noticed a difference, and that's the beauty of Bishop, in that, you know, he doesn't change. You know, he just kind of shows up every day, and there he is. And we'll obviously, you know, if I don't. Ideally, when I go to meet with you guys after the ball game, I don't want to have to look at the stat sheet with 40 carries again. But we're going to do what we need to do to win the game.
Sark, what about Gaffney, and what do you see in compare and contrast maybe with Taylor last year and just kind of the...
Gaffney reminds me a little bit more of Toby Gerhart, quite honestly. Big physical runner, breaks tackles, will try to beat you up when he's running the football. I think what's unique is the compliment they have to him with the other backs that give him a, you know, here comes Gaffney, boom, 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 and then they sub in these other 2 or 3 guys, and now they're the quick scat back type guys that can make you miss in space. So they're a good compliment in the backfield for one another.
In Montgomery, it just seemed like last year, was it just a poor game, or because this year it seems like he's kind of lighting it up?
He's playing well. Maybe the number change, you know, change numbers, and have to identify where number 7 is now. But you know, he had an opportunity in our game last year to make a couple big plays and just missed it. So we're going to need to be aware of where he is. He's a big play threat.
The things that Josh Garnett's done for them so far, is that what you envision when you're recruiting him?
I don't know. He doesn't start, does he?
Did last week.
No, I don't. I really don't know.
We've asked you a lot about Austin the last few weeks. I feel like he's back
Austin's doing a good job. You know, the reason we run the ball well, our run game attacks the C gap quite a bit, and to do that, our tight ends have to play well. And I think Austin, I think Josh Perkins have done a nice job of that. You know, we've tried to target Austin probably more so than we have in a few weeks back, and we've just missed on a couple ones, and even the ones we got him on, it wasn't maybe the best of Keith's throws. So he's a great weapon for us, not only in the passing game, but in the running game. And when you're a tight end and you play over 80 snaps, I think that's pretty special in and of itself. And you're 275 pounds, you're playing 80 snaps, and you're running routes, and you're blocking. So I've been proud of him that way.
You notice a difference in how defenses are approaching him or defending him?
No, I think defenses are trying to defend the offense really right now, and that's the beauty of where we're at. We have a lot of different weapons, and that's how we wanted to become. We didn't want to be a one-dimensional or two-dimensional offense. We wanted you to have to defend everybody, and I think that we've gotten defenses to honor everybody right now.
So you've talked a lot about, you just talked about tight end getting a lot of snaps. How has the offensive line really been able to hold up over these first 4 or 5 weeks?
I think they've been great. I think they're playing really good football for us. I think they're keeping the quarterback clean. You know, Keith isn't getting hit. I think it's 3 sacks now and through 4 games. I think they're coming off the football and being physical with our opponents and getting holes for the backs. And you know, I think they've got a great mentality. I think as much of it is physical, it's mental, and the pride that they take in the second half of games of being the better conditioned team and being able to run the football. And I think they take a lot of pride in that, and it shows.
I was going to say, with their conditioning and being able to just run and run and run, how much has that maybe impacted their confidence and just the fact that they know they can be there all the way to the end?
Well, I think it's helpful. You know, I think that they go into the ball game and they feel good at the start, but I think in the second half, when defensive linemen are starting to get fatigued, they take pride in the fact that they are in great shape, and now that they are knocking people off the football even more so than they were in the first half. And when we break that run in the fourth quarter, like Jesse's last week, you know, when that run hits, I think they feel even more empowered. Like, just that moment when the defense had to take that break, they blocked it so good that there's another big run. And so I think they take a great deal of pride in that.
And since the conditions aren't going to be like they were Saturday, are the special teams going to kind of maybe go back to what we saw the first few weeks in terms of John's involvement?
We'll see.
What does a healthy Eric Kohler add to your offensive line?
Just depth. You know, it's a guy who's got experience, who's played a lot of football early in his career, and is a bright player. understands the game, and it provides us a really good amount of depth. You know, knock on wood, if one of these guys does get nicked up, we know we have a player that can go in the game and has a great deal of experience and confidence in his own ability.
Any chance to see him this week? Anyway.
Just the game will depend.
Seeing so many, fast teams coming up to this game, and now you're coming up against a Stanford team that's a little bit more methodical, a little bit more, I wouldn't say slow, but so as far as the defense goes, I mean, we're not that we get bored, but is it more like they have to take a breath because they're so used to going against these fast offenses now? I mean, how do you?
No, it's funny. Coach Wilcox jokingly said our freshmen taught him what a huddle was. These guys have been here since training camp and through 4 games of no huddle offenses, so it was actually pretty funny. But I think one of the keys is our ability against Stanford. They tax you physically, so that rest in between plays is critical. They give you so many different things on the offensive side of the ball that information that you have to sort through is important for us. So that time is necessary, even if it is just 10 more seconds. We can use that 10 seconds to collect our thoughts from the last play, gather information on the upcoming play, and then really hunker down and play good, hard-nosed physical football.